What you are watching is a surveillance video from the Northwest 2 Unit Gym at the DC jail, recorded on January 20th, 2005. It is sometime after 9 p.m. After much stonewalling, the DC jail produced this video with a lawyer for Thomas Jones's family a year and a half later. It is not filmed in real time, but perhaps more than twice the speed of real time. And at one point, there is a cut and an overlap. Thomas Jones is the inmate in shoulder-length hair, and he has a beard. They would play 3 games of one-on-one. This is towards the end of their playing, when both men decided to have shrugged off their jumpsuits and play in shorts or boxer shorts and their undershirts. Both men started out as fairly rusty, but then they each got on hot streaks and made it competitive. Jones especially grew adept at his hookshot and from long range. His opponent, Derek Jones, would say later that Thomas Jones gave no hint as to any stress on his condition or there was something imminent that was going to happen. They both just appeared tired. And as the game wore on, the one thing that you do notice is that there is nobody watching them playing. There are no guards just beyond, and the portion that you see where the inmates are laying down, that's the day room, and then beyond that is the control room, and then there's the 2 tiers where the inmates live. On this day, there was 158 inmates in this unit. Here we are coming toward the end. This is Thomas Jones' last play on offense. After this last play, Thomas Jones gathers the ball and walks over to Derek Jones. You see him squat down against the ball, and then all of a sudden, he falls backwards. Derek Jones rushes to his side and then calls for help. There's a man down. And as you can see from this freeze frame, that Officer Daniels doesn't know what to do. He's just sort of hovering over Thomas Jones. He would later say in a deposition that he did not take a pulse, did not check to see if Thomas Jones was breathing. His reason or explanation for this is the fact that he was not trained to do so. So he did not check for a pulse or check inmate to see whether Thomas Jones was breathing. But soon enough, Officer Daniels is relieved by, you'll see in the video here, the first person is Officer Stevenson comes in, and then Captain Nora Talley, who is the head of the jail. She's the highest ranking officer at the jail at that moment. And Officer Stevenson has quickly decided that Thomas Jones is having a seizure. So they decide here to roll Thomas Jones on his side, and in the course of that, Officer Stevenson sticks his thumb in Thomas Jones's mouth in an attempt to prevent him from swallowing his tongue. I'm not sure if that's the right procedure to do, but he does it. As you can see, inmates are allowed to sort of wander in and chat, and at this point, inmate Thomas Jones has urinated on himself, and right at that point, soon Officer Logan appears, and then they just appear to talk. Now let's just watch the video. Here another officer shows up, looks at the man on the floor, and wanders away. And here we go. Captain Talley again decides to call the infirmary or the command center. And as you'll notice, no CPR is being performed, no basic life life-saving techniques are being used at all throughout this entire time. Finally, the infirmary people arrive, a nurse, and then a doctor. And you'll notice here, the nurse, she gets out an ammonia capsule and attempts to wave it under his nose to see if he can be revived, and he cannot. He is unresponsive, and here the doctor checks his pulse, and he is found to be pulseless. Then they decide to hoist Thomas Jones up, and it appears that they really have no idea how to do this, and that he's quite heavy, and then they literally drop him on the gurney, and then they have to turn him over. And then you see here the doctor has put Thomas Jones's old orange jumpsuit on part of his face. According to their own accounts, their response to the scene was immediate, and the government argued in court filings that the officers performed CPR.